Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. We have news. Jets are trading Sam Darnold to the Colts, Bears, or Saints. The New York Jets are going to trade quarterback Sam Darnold and start anew. According to ESPN and NFL insider Adam Schefter, league executives have serious questions regarding what Darnold could really command on the open market at this stage. If the Jets were to want a first-round pick for Darnold, it would take the right formula and combination to make it work. A quarterback-needy team out of position to select one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the 2021 draft, yet one that believes in Darnold and had a high grade on him coming out of USC, he reported. Teams potentially in that category this offseason could include the Indianapolis Colts, Chicago Bears, and New Orleans Saints. So is a first-round pick Darnold's current value around the league? Not unanimously. I don't think they'd get a first-round pick for Sam, but it also depends on what he puts on tape the rest of the year, one GM said. The problem is Darnold is struggling with his accuracy, his durability, so they're in a tough spot. And if everyone knows the Jets are taking a quarterback, then they won't get as much back. I think they could get a fourth-round pick for him, but if he finished positive for him, they might get a 2 for him. In college, he was a turnover machine. In the NFL, he has been a turnover machine. I just don't think he has the credentials to go for a 1. One disagreed with the rest of the group, though. If you still believe the guy's a top pick caliber quarterback and consider his circumstances, you don't close the door on it, he argued. So far this year, Darnold has amassed 792 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. The 23-year-old is completing 59% of his passes. Any team that trades for Darnold would need to pick up his 5th-year option for $24 million, which is obviously a big ask for a quarterback who has yet to play in more than 13 games over the course of a year. Of the 3 teams mentioned as possible suitors for Darnold, an easy case can be made for any of them to pull the trigger. Phillip Rivers, 38 years old, and Indianapolis needs to start planning for the future. Darnold could sit behind him for a year and then presumably take over next season. In Chicago, Nick Foles is doing an admirable job replacing the dumpster fire that was Mitchell Trubisky, but he is not a long-term solution. Darnold could be. Finally, Drew Brees is showing his age more than ever this year. The Saints need a succession plan. Regardless of where it ultimately ends up, Darnold's day in New York appear to be numbered. A trade is happening. It's a matter of when, not if. Okay, that's Sam Darnold, y'all. Sam Darnold. Now, next on the list, Washington football team. The Washington football team is trading Dwayne Haskins. I don't know why after Kyle Allen and them really didn't show that they were a bigger improvement. But when you're black, you get thrown out. You don't get 2-3 years to stink it up like Darnold. Now, the Washington football team is trading second-year quarterback Dwayne Haskins just 1 week after the former Ohio State star was benched. His relationship with the organization reached a point of no return. According to Jason La Canfora of CBS Sports, Haskins is getting shipped out of town at some point in the next few weeks. The situation between the quarterback who was drafted 15 overall just 16 months ago and Rivera's staff is already fairly toxic. And multiple sources within the organization believe the trade by the end of the month is the most likely outcome, he reported. Some rival executives have already begun looking at film of the former Ohio State star, anticipating him being moved in the coming weeks. Moreover, Haskins' team seems receptive to the idea of a fresh start. Several sources close to Haskins have advised him that a trade would be far and away the best outcome possible, ideally to a solid franchise with an experienced veteran QB the 23-year-old could learn from. The report added, a number of issues soured Washington on Haskins, including the playful manner in which he handled defeat. Namely, they didn't like how following a loss to the Baltimore Ravens, the 23-year-old bragged about his stat line. Okay. I know some people were bothered. Grant Paulson of 106.7 The Fan said, I was not for the record because this just happens, but like he was super playful. He was having a good time with Robert Griffin and hopping around, and they had just lost the game. And this happens to me all the time. Like, you see this a lot, so I took nothing out of it. But I know some people were like, why is he so happy? They just lost to the Ravens. Well, apparently in the locker room, he's heard by players talking about his stat line and that he threw for 300 yards. Haskins finished that outing versus the Ravens having gone 32 of 45 for 314 yards and had a 90.4 passer rating. Although he didn't have a touchdown pass or interception, he rushed for a score. It was Haskins' best effort of the year, but it came in a 31-17 loss. Washington football team head coach Ron Rivera benched Haskins shortly thereafter, naming Kyle Allen the new starter and activating backup Alex Smith. Ahead of this showdown against the Los Angeles Rams, Haskins was told to stay home. Clearly, the relationship between Haskins and Rivera cannot be mended at this stage. Rivera did not express a ton of confidence in Haskins even before the season began. What with all the Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa chatter, and that probably should have been the first clear sign that this regime didn't feel like Haskins would be their quarterback of the future. The events of the past week simply confirmed it. Haskins is getting traded, and it will likely happen in a matter of weeks. Now, we're going to start with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I even said this. I said Sam Darnold wasn't finna be nothing. I kept saying that. Everybody was trying to tell me Sam Darnold this. I watched Sam Darnold at USC. Every week he was turning the damn ball over and they were losing. So I knew he was going to be a bum when he got to the league. And plus he got hurt in college just like he's getting hurt now. He locks onto a receiver. He has happy feet. He's nervous in the pocket. He overthrows receivers. He makes some plays here and there where he'll run. He's very underrated with his athleticism. He can throw on the run. But to me, Darnold, he's not a franchise quarterback. To me, he's a number 2 quarterback. Like, if you need him in there to fill in for your team for a few weeks while your starter gets ready, he'll be great at that. That's not trying to diss him. It's just the honesty. He wasn't that good in college. But, that's what people wanted. I guess that's what people like. But he hasn't been impressive. Like, what win has he had that was impressive? It really was none. He beat the Cowboys that 1 week last year. Everybody was like, Darnold's finna turn the page. But Dallas sucked. When he played against a good team like the Patriots, he threw 4 picks. So he's easy to game plan against. You can disguise coverages. You can disguise your front 7 to make it look like one thing and then change up at the last second. You'll beat him at that. He has a hard time leading. Not only that, he has a hard time connecting with his supporting cast. And I'm sorry, like, if you're going to trade him, which I don't know why he's going to the Saints because they got Jameis Winston. Unless they don't trust Jameis Winston or want him further, then I understand. Now, the Bears, why would you go from Trubisky to this guy? You just basically went from poor to worse. You got Nick Foles. Nick Foles will be fine for what he does. Because Nick Foles basically, like I said, is a winner and he's a proven quarterback. If you give him the right time and you give him the right pieces around him, he could game manage your team to a victory. Now but now and everything that the Bears, they're stupid. They want to keep their white quarterback. They got to be a white quarterback to play there. So if you get Darnold, why? Darnold is trash. You went from Trubisky, now you're going to Darnold? That's dumb. And the Colts, you got Jacoby Brissett. There's nothing wrong with Brissett. Why do you want Sam Darnold? That's stupid. I would keep Jacoby Brissett. Once Phillip Rivers is done, I'll throw Jacoby back in there. But like I said, when you're black, you get the sack. That's just how it is. Now, Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins played one season at Ohio State. He was very successful. He had a good season, but people always have questioned his maturity. They questioned his accuracy against the blitz, against different coverages. He's always had a microscope under him. Now, Ron Rivera and the coaching staff never showed any respect in him from the beginning. So what does he do? He's acting like a child. He's going to rebel. He's going to go laugh with RG3 saying, look, I had a stat line. Key. Yeah, because you guys don't believe in him. And every day he has to hear your criticism. You're over criticizing of him when your whole team is a bunch of bums. You guys ain't even worthy to be talked about because you don't even have a football name. That's how bad it is for you. And I don't blame him. I would be laughing, look at my stat line, because he had good stats. He wasn't that bad. All he needs is experience. But see, a black quarterback doesn't get that same luxury. And we're sick of it. We're sick of it. We already getting screwed in ownership and president positions, agents, and being general managers. We're already being screwed in that, in the NBA and the NFL. But now you still want to screw us at the quarterback position. And that's the truth. If you don't come in and you play great or put up the numbers, the yards, they're going to bench you. That just is what it is. To me, it's funny how Alex Smith, when he was in San Francisco, he stunk up the joint his first 4 or 5 years, I think 6, and he still had an opportunity to come back and play for a starting position. They worked with him. They developed him. But Dwayne Haskins, no, we can't do it. He's immature. He's laughing and keying over there. What does that got to do with anything? You guys never believed in him. So why would he care about if y'all win or lose? And then you got the whole team not trying to fight behind him. So he like, F y'all then. Trade me. So trade him away. That's what I was saying with Dallas. If you didn't believe in Dak, you should have traded him away. But Jerry didn't want to do it because Jerry didn't want to look like the bad guy. Jerry has an image to keep that. I take care of my black people. I mean, my Negroes. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. My people. he has that slave owner mentality, just like all these owners in both leagues. And it's the truth. If you don't want a player, trade them and go get somebody else if you don't believe in them, because you make it unfair for that player. Because if they get hurt, now you could be like in conspiring with the other owners saying, well, he got hurt and he got hurt here. You know, he might be gimpy for the rest of his career. So now they're going to lowball you. They're going to give you 31 to 30 million compared to 38 or 40. And that's just how the NFL works. That's why I'm upset with these players. They should have sat out and they should have risked sacrificing some of their money. That's the only way you're going to win with anything when it comes to the laws in the country, the rules of the rules of that's being laid out for us in this land. We have to sacrifice. If you're not going to sacrifice to have a better CBA and have guaranteed contracts, then what are you playing football for? Because if you get hurt one time, that's your career. But I know I went off track a little bit, but Dwayne Haskins, I feel, would be a very good quarterback. I'm not seeing greatness, but I see a solid starter if you put him in the right situation with the right coach who believes in him, like they believe in Lamar in Baltimore, like they believe in Russell Wilson in Seattle. Well, they did. They were trying to trade him before to Cleveland for Baker, so I don't know how much they believe in him, but you have to show your belief. And if you don't believe in a quarterback, they're not going to perform well. Haskins has not been the problem. The problem has been, like I've always said, Ron Rivera plays not to lose. He's nothing but a Marty Schottenheimer and another Jeff Fisher. He's a coach who plays not to lose. That's it. And if he doesn't lose, he's happy. That's all he does. He plays it like that. That's why he's never been successful. He was only successful because Cam Newton was that freaking great. He was that raw. But let me know in the comment section what you feel. Do you feel Darnold and Haskins are bust? Do you feel that they're doing the right job and benching them and and trading them? The trading Darnold and Haskins, do you feel is right that Darnold gets a chance to play the rest of the season while Haskins is benched? Tell me, has Rivera been unfair to him? So let me know in the comment section about how you feel. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming content. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, HDIITV. And shoot, thank you for listening. We out. Live boy.